The OFNA Hyper MTe Sport. This guy turned up today and I gotta tell you, I'm really excited about it. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Okay, so the Hyper MTe Sport. Now, as I said, I am a bit excited about this truck. I've been actually looking forward to it very much, but I'm also a little bit worried. And the reason why I say that is because I've had two OFNA RCs in the past. One was the Next 10 SC, which was a four-wheel drive short course truck, and I really enjoyed that RC, so much so that I still own it, even though it's been discontinued. The other one was the Buggy 8, and I had a terrible experience with that car. A lot of things went wrong with it. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about this. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. However, judging by what I've read on the Ultimate RC forums, it seems that it's a pretty decent RC. A lot of people seem to be enjoying it. It does need a couple of little things, a little bit of adjustments, but we'll, I guess, figure that out as I go along. Now I'm going to show you very quickly how it comes packaged up inside. And for those of you who don't prefer the brushless setup, it is also available in the Nitro. So you can opt for that one if you prefer. So I'll take the lid off here very quickly. That's how it comes packaged in the box. Now I'm going to cut here, guys. I'm going to set it all up, spread everything out, and then we'll come back and talk about the truck a bit more. Alright guys, everything's set up. Now I am going to take you through some of the boring stuff first, and then we'll focus on the main event, which is the truck, obviously. So in the box you have a couple of sort of manuals. This is mainly filled with advertising and things like that, which don't really have anything to do with the truck, so you can just fling that away, which is what I do. This is the one you want to hold on to. This is the manual for the truck, and don't let the cheap appearance fool you. OFNA actually do a very good job of giving you a very informative and well detailed manual, even though it just looks like photocopies pieces of paper with staples down the side. So make sure you hold on to this guy should you need to do any repairs or maintenance on the truck. You also have another little plastic bag here. Now this has some stickers as well as a little antenna tube, which you may or may not need. And then these are the leftover stickers that they pre-applied on the body. I've already taken two of them out, which was the number 7 here for this little roll cage that you can put on the body as well. And on the back, you have a leaflet for your radio as well as a leaflet for your ESC, should you want to program it or do anything special with it. So make sure you hold on to all that stuff. They give you a little bag of tools. You get some Allen keys there as well as a wrench, and the wrench will actually allow you to adjust your turnbuckles, so kind of a handy thing to have. However, they don't give you a wrench for your 17mm hexes to put the tires on the truck, so make sure you provide your own there. They gave me a couple of spare screws for this sort of plastic roll cage that you put on the body, and they give you a full set of body clips, which is a good thing because I actually had 2 missing from my truck. I only had 2 mounted on the front. I was missing the 2 on the back. So I had to actually open up the packet to be able to get the rest of the clips, which is not really a big deal when you think about it. Now I did find this little guy rolling around in the box, and I wasn't 100% sure what this was until I took the truck out and had a bit of a look, and it's one of the headlights from here. So I'm going to need to super glue this guy back on, which again, not a big deal, just a minor little thing. Now the radio is one thing that I'm actually very impressed with. I wasn't sure how this or what radio this truck came equipped with, because I've seen a lot of pictures of the truck but not of the radio, and this is the guy that I got with my truck. Now up the top here you have your steering trim, down the bottom you have throttle trim, you have an auxiliary button up the top here, you have steering dual rate down here, and then you have steering and throttle endpoint adjustments, which is a really good thing to have on the remote as well. You have your reverse switches, and you also have a fail-safe, and I believe this is a kind of a test button to make sure that it's binded to the receiver, or it could be a bind button. I'm not 100% sure on that one. You have the on and off switch down the back here, and you have a charging port just here as well. The only negative point that I can say about this radio is that it still runs on 8AA's, which is something that I haven't seen in quite a while, given all the RCs that I've purchased. So 8AA's on a 2.4 GHz radio is kind of old tech. But that's really a minor thing, because you can remove this whole sort of tray and you can actually unplug it and start using some rechargeable batteries if you want to do that. So very, very cool little feature. And I guess, you know, 8AA's is kind of really just nitpicking at it. It would be nice if you just had 4, but hey, you know, it does at least come pretty well equipped, and it feels really good too. I mean, the wheel is a foam wheel. It has a really good feel to it. The trigger's got a bit of weight to it. It feels comfortable in the hand. It doesn't have a collapsible antenna or anything that you can break off. It's just a stubby little thing here, although you can probably poke your eye out with it. So not a bad radio at all. Now the truck, let me bring this up nice and close for you so you guys can have a better look at this thing. I know that the body is kind of an acquired taste, and I went for the orange because I wasn't a big fan of the white and blue design that they had. So this one's a little bit louder. The white and blue is probably a little bit tamer. Now you can see there's a cutout on the back window here. I'm trying to hold this up so you guys can see. So that will allow a little bit of ventilation, and you will need to sort of mount these on if you want to, I suppose. You can probably leave them off if you don't like it. I will say that going by the photos, I wasn't 100% sure on the body design, but having it in person, I actually do like it. It looks good. I mean, it's nice to have something different for a change. The quality of the body itself is pretty sort of run-of-the-mill kind of body. Feels a little flimsy, but you know, it's a ready-to-run body. You know, it will do its job for a little while. Eventually, I am going to have to put my own on here, but it will be a shame to wreck it because I'm actually starting to warm up to it. It looks kind of neat, so I'm you know, it's okay. It's just a ready-to-run body anyway. Now for the truck itself, I got to tell you, this thing actually weighs a bit. Has a bit of weight to it, which is a good thing why it can run on 6S. So I'll give you a bit of a spin around, and you guys can have a bit of a better look at it. I'll let you just take it all in, so you can have a bit of a look. Now, if I miss something while I'm sort of showing you all the little features that it has and my first impressions of it, if I miss something that you guys have seen that you're not 100% sure on, be sure to comment down below and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Really beefy sort of roll cage slash handle that it has here. Battery tray on either side, 150 amp ESC, which is sort of coming off the tray there, and it is waterproof. And I'm going to have to put some fresh tape on there to make sure it stays down. Dean's connector's already pre-installed, very nice. 2000 kV brushless motor, which looks like a 4082 from what I can see. I'm pretty familiar with my 1/8 scale motors now. I've had a few of them. It does have a gear transfer case in the middle, and it has this little cap just here. Now I'm yet to work out what this is all about. I don't know if you're supposed to put oil in there or if it's for tuning, or I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I'm going to have to investigate this a little bit more and crack open the manual and have a bit of a better look at it. The receiver box, it is just huge. It barely fits in my hand. That thing is massive. And for those of you who are sort of unfamiliar with this truck, and I copped a bit of a nice surprise when I had a look at the steering servo, and if you have a look there, it's actually a Savox, and it has an aluminium servo horn already installed. How cool is that? I was actually not expecting any of that when I bought this truck. The twin vertical plate system is actually all one piece, which I didn't know it was like this. I thought it was twin vertical plates meshed together with some other things in the middle. But this is actually all one piece, so it actually curves up and then it bends back over again to give it more strength so it doesn't flex in the middle. So very, very nice. And then you have another aluminium plate here that houses all your motor and your ESC and everything else. So I'm really impressed with the design and how they've gone about making this. There's also another aluminium brace at the front here for your steering. The A-arms, can I just say, they're about the thickness of my finger. These things are huge. I mean, they are big. I've seen, you know, I've had my fair share of RCs, and I've seen some pretty beefy A-arms and plastics, but these things actually are very, very impressive. Now you've got adjustable camber and tow, both front and rear, which is not always common. The Rival had adjustable tow at the rear as well. But yeah, it's not all that common, I think. Mod 1 still pinion gears and spur gear as well. So it's probably going to be a little loud, but I think it'll be okay. It does have a little bit of adjustment on your body posts, but not a great deal. These sort of supports can be taken out and you can sort of lower them a little bit. I don't think you can really raise it all that much because, although I lie, because you know what, just here there's actually 2 more screws inside the shock tower that sort of bolt through the shock tower, one here and one there, and this whole plate can actually raise straight up, so you can bring this whole thing up and raise the body up, and it's the same thing on the rear. So very, very nice. The shocks, 16mm big boss shocks, aluminium threaded bodies, and suspension out of the box feels very, very nice. A little soft at the rear. I may need to adjust that a bit. I can see that it's probably going to sag a bit at the rear, and even on landings it's probably going to, you know, slap the bottom a bit, but it's not bad. Tires, well, I've got my hands on the tires, I'll talk about that. Nice sort of medium to soft compound. They feel a bit grippy. I'm a little bit worried that the tread pattern feels a little shallow, but I think it's aggressive enough that it actually might hold up. It does have a very small wall, so hopefully they're not going to expand into huge pizza cutters. I'm not quite sure. I mean, if this little cap here is for the oil, that means that if I find that it's bleeding too much power to the front wheels, maybe by putting a bit of oil in there, it might actually transfer and even out the power a bit. Maybe that's their way of making it easy to just tune the transmission. I'm not 100% sure on this. I still have to find all this out. But overall, I'm actually very impressed. The bumpers feel really nice and strong. They have a little bit of flex on them as well. Everything is hex hardware. It just feels like a really beefy, strong truck. I mean, there's adjustable links all over the place. It doesn't run CVDs though. I did have a look at this earlier and I could only see that it runs dog bones. But they do look pretty strong, so hopefully it's not going to give me any troubles there. The shocks also have these little rubber boots here to protect the shafts, which is quite nice. Overall, I mean, I'm quite impressed with everything. The only thing I noticed as well, as I was unboxing it, is that there's a lot of slop in this steering. And not just from the steering itself, but also if you sort of, I'll try and do it, if you do it this way, it kind of wobbles a lot. And the same thing goes for the rear. There's actually a lot of slop. Now, you probably can tune some of this out. You know, you can put little shims or washers and try to sort of tune it out a little bit, which I'm probably going to do as well. So we'll see how we go with that. I'll try and get some of that sorted out, because the truck kind of wobbles a bit. You can see here, just sitting on the bench, it kind of jiggles around a little bit. I mean, it just, everything is very, very beefed up. I mean, even your steering knuckles and everything there, hopefully you guys can see that. It's just, well, I mean, they look really strong, but I really, really hope that they hold up, because it looks fantastic. The hinge pins as well on the A-arms, they look like to be almost 4mm. I think they're about 3, maybe 3.5 really, but adjustable cambers, as I said earlier, beefed up chassis, hex hardware, everything's waterproof, can run on 6S for $490, ready to run. Sure, it doesn't come with batteries and charger, but I think we can assume that this is actually not a bad deal, at least from what I've seen so far. I mean, if I put it on the ground, take a jump and the whole thing falls apart, well then no. But not a lot of RCs do that nowadays. Alright, so that's about as good as I can get the body to fit on there. And I think I'm going to leave it here. So there you go, that's my first look at the OFNA Hyper MTe Sport 1/8 scale 4-wheel drive brushless monster truck. God damn, that is a mouthful. As I said earlier at the start, it is also available in nitro. If you don't like to fiddle around with batteries, you can do that as well. It comes in a blue color if you don't like the orange. But overall, I think it's not a bad deal for the price. If this was around the $600 mark, I'd be really disappointed with the slop. I mean, I still am, but it's a little bit more forgivable. I suppose maybe you don't think so. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to check out the video description for a link to my Facebook page. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to like this video before you go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys again soon.